So I recently just hosted a game day in my house. When I first got in the hobby a couple years back, I started to have people over for game days, maybe like once a month. Now, that's the goal at least. Now sometimes obviously it works out where it's like 2 months goes by, 3 months goes by, or especially during the holidays it's harder. But once a month is my goal. So if it happens, great. If it doesn't, well, this means I probably have way more games to try next time. But I love it. We make a whole day of it. People come over about 1 p.m. We go to about 9 p.m. My wife and I will cook a whole feast, and we'll have, lunch and dinner, all these different snacks. It's a good time. Honestly, I look forward to it when we do it. This time, we had more people than usual. I strive to get 5 or 6, because a lot of my games, they comfortably play 5 or 6. We usually play lighter games, and I can usually squeeze that player count in there. But this time we had up to 8, which is admittedly a challenge. It really limits the games I have. But, luckily people kind of staggered in. So I was able to try some lower player count games and some higher player count games. Let's just get to 2 of them right now. First up is Qork. Now, this was definitely a surprise for me. I mean, it's one of those games where you see it played. I think I watched it play Ronnie's video where he went through it. And I was like, oh, that looks interesting. But I know I've tried a lot of these style games, and it's hard to explain them. Some were big hits, some are not. Let's just, hop into this game and see kind of how it went over with my game group. The 2 games to explain today, this definitely will take no time to explain. I will start off by saying, but it plays up to 8 players, which I was surprised by. We tried it at 6, 7, and 8, and it worked equally well at all. So, because everything happens at once, and we'll just show you right now how it works. The game has 2 main components, either the dice roller or you're holding onto the cork with a string and you're trying to get the string out of there as fast as possible. Those are the 2 pieces. So for the dice roller, you put the dice in the cup, you roll up and you slam it down. And when you lift it up, everyone, including myself, is looking at the dice. And we're trying to see, do the dice add up to 7 or are there doubles? Like there's 2 4s, 2 5s, 2 6s, right? So here, in this case, there are 8, so nothing would happen. But if that was a 1, that would be 7. If it's 7 or doubles, then everyone tries to remove their string from the mat as fast as possible. So in this case, if I was there, I was like, yoink, and I would just yoink it away, right? Now, as the cup person, I'm trying to see, okay, it's 7 or doubles, and I'm trying to slam down on everyone's thing as fast as possible. So he might, get it free, and I might get these 2 people. Everyone I capture will get a point. So if these 2 people capture, I would add a point to those. Points are bad. You don't want points. I know people... When I explain this game, people go, I get a point? I go, no, you don't want points. 0 would be the best score in this game. So points are bad. So what makes it interesting as a dice roller is you can make people flinch. So I can come here and then do this. That's 8, but they might have saw that 7 and their brain just lies to them. And then one person goes. And a lot of times if one person goes, someone else goes with them because you're just on edge, right? So in this case, even though it was not 7 or doubles, they get a point. Because you can only move if you're holding the cork if it meets one of the 2 criteria. So if both these guys flinch, in this case they would both get a point for flinching, and it would just get reset. The person roll the dice doesn't pass the dice until either one of those 2 criteria happen. Either I roll a 7 or I get doubles. So in this case, even though they flinch, nothing happens. I would go again. Okay, that'd be nothing. I go again. Oops. In this case, nothing again. Now I do realize the more you roll, the more people get a little bit tense. So sometimes you can just wait a few times before you make the little flinch. If you flinch every time, people know you're going to flinch, right? In this case, I got doubles. So everyone have to go whoop like this. The last thing that could happen is everyone gets there before I can slam down. If that happens, then I also get a point. So I get a point for not capturing them. So basically, I get a point if I don't capture them. I can get a point if I capture them when it wasn't the dice. Basically, like a false grab. Through the explanation, you can kind of learn what happens with these guys. So obviously, if it reveals doubles, I try to get away. If I get away, great, nothing happens to me. If I get caught, I earn a point. Or if I flinch when it's not the right thing, if it was 5, if I flinch, I also get a point. So basically, each person has a way to get points, no matter if you're the dice roller or the person with the cork. And that is the very quick explanation of Qork. Doubles! Next up is Survive the Island. I definitely love Thunder Road Vendettas, another chaos game. I'm not too much into that take that meanness, but some games just do it well. And I heard Survive the Island did it well. It kind of like Thunder Road does, where you're mean, but you kind of go in knowing that. So I was curious to try it out. So like I said, people came over a little earlier than the whole party. So we had a 4-player game of Survive the Island. So let's just break it down and show you how this game works. We are all set up for a 3-player game of Survive the Island. Now I will say up front that this game can be mean. It can be pretty mean. So when I introduced it to my friends, I was like, hey, this game I understand is pretty mean. We just gotta kind of roll the punches and know that, hey, you attack me, I attack you, everyone gets attacked. That's just the way it goes. But if you're playing with 3 people and 2 of them do not want to attack each other, well, that means you're going to take the full force of it. So you better get creative. Otherwise, you're not going to survive that island. I think the best way to learn this game is just to follow me through a turn or two. I do love the little player aid here. It's a really good job. Honestly, this thing's fantastic. It does everything you need to do. A player aid should be. Good job on this guy. So I have 3 things I'm going to do in my turn. The first thing is I'm going to move my guys. I am playing blue. What should I do? And I can move any of my blue guys up to 3 spaces with some rules we won't go too much into unless it comes up. So the goal is to get your characters to one of the 4 islands. The twist is at the beginning of the game, you can look at the bottom of your characters and they have different values on them. Like this is a 5, this is a 3, and like this is a 4, and like a 4, and so on. It's like a 1, 2, and so on and so forth, right? So it's kind of a memory game because once you put it out there, you're not allowed to look at it anymore. So you're trying to remember, okay, I think my 5's there, my 4's there. At the end of the day, I tend to just say, forget all that and just get the guys to the island. Maybe if you play this game a lot, then you could develop some meta about ultimate placements. But for now, I just try to get any guys to survive because it gets pretty chaotic. So I have, most of my blue guys are on this side and this side. So I think I might just jump to this boat first. So I'll make 1 move there and then I'll go 2, 3. So that's my 3 moves I just made. Now I didn't move the boat. I could have moved the boat. I could have been like 1 and then just sail the boat 2 spots. But I'm just deciding to get a few guys to safety first. The second step in your turn is you remove one of these tiles. This is where the game get a little feisty. Because at first you remove the thinner tiles, in this case the beach, then you do like the forest and then the rock class. So I can remove any beach I want. So maybe I'll go for this guy right here. I'll take this one. They just splash in the water. Now depending on what this is, it could be bad or good for them, we'll see. Oh, it's a kaiju. So now this isn't too bad, because if that was a shark, the person would just be eaten immediately, which is pretty hilarious. So in this case, the kaiju would go there. So they mainly just destroy the rafts, and they scare away monsters and people to kind of flee in the active players. They decide where they go. I do like the kaiju because you can use them to do some like ricochet shots. You'll see if we get to it later. So for now, I can move this guy further into the water, which might be a benefit because maybe we can get a shark there to eat them, or maybe I can move them like onto like some land somewhere else. I'll go further into the water over here. And the last step is I take this dice and I roll it. There are 3 types of monsters: these sea creatures, the shark, and the kaiju. So far I can only move the sharks around there, so hopefully I don't roll a green one. So I rolled a kaiju, so that means I can move this one up to 2 spaces, and now he can go in water or land. Some have restrictions. This one can go anywhere. So in this case, I move the first space, will scares away this person, and now I can come here. And now both these yellow characters will fall into the little abyss here. And then they get eaten by the sea creature. And I knocked everything over in that process. So these will go away, and then they're out of the game, right? Now yellow can't score those. That's it. That's my turn. I did 3 things. I moved up to 3 times, and then I removed a tile, so that shrieked the board a little bit. And then I rolled the creature dice. Now, the one thing that might happen, which didn't happen here, is some of these tiles you remove give you powers. They let you do certain things. So we'll just do one more turn, just kind of give you a feel for how it goes. Let's just say purple's up next. So purple, they have a few options. Maybe they'll jump in this boat here, and maybe they're just like, I'm out of here, man. They'll just go like 1, 2, and now that's their 3 moves. They just jump in the boat and sail the ship, because maybe this is their 5, and they're just trying to get their 5 to safety as fast as possible, which is not a bad strategy. So they can remove any tile they want. So let's just say, you know what, they saw how mean I was being, so they might decide to be mean to me. They removed this tile. In this case, this is another raft. So we would take another raft out of the box, and we would just put another raft around here. I'll just leave it out for now. So they did that, and now they roll the dice. So let's just see what they get. They rolled a sea monster. So let's see here. I think if I was them, they would probably move this guy 1 space there, because if they can manage to get the boat, then the sea creatures destroy boats and people in it. So, might not happen. Obviously, I can't do anything else, but the next person's turn, then they might be able to move that guy 1 more time, and then or not. Because at the end of the day, he can maybe spend his next turn and go 3 and just get to the shore, but we'll see. It's kind of like, we'll see how lucky he gets. So the game continues, and the board just keeps getting smaller and smaller. Some scenarios that come up, I just want to show you guys for fun, is like sometimes like someone might jump in your boat like this, and now, it's like an impromptu alliance where, yellow is sort of working together with me now because I don't want to kill off my blue guys, and he doesn't want to kill off my yellow guys. So doing this is definitely a smart move. The game ends once all the players are safe to island or all the players are eliminated. And whatever happens first, that's what ends the game. So boom, that is a wrap on 2 pretty different games. Now I did say one of these games was a 10 out of 10. Do you guys figure out which one that would be? It is Qork. This game, gotta wait for a second, Survive the Island, really surprised me. I mean, it was one of those games where I went in thinking, oh, it'd be like a cute novel little thing, which it technically is still novel, because that's something I want to play all day. But it achieves what it's trying to do, very well. I can get up to 8 people playing this game, and it doesn't take any time to teach people. You can just teach them within seconds, and they're off to playing. And you can be bad, you can be good, it doesn't really matter. It's just you're gonna have fun playing, right? People were really slow at responding, it's funny. People are fast, too fast, it's funny. I think the game, it just kind of creates a little bit of that like tension. You're kind of like, oh, so that cannot feel great, but it does lead to a lot of laughter. Because in my experience, when everyone's so tense, it doesn't take much to break that tension and cause a lot of laughter. Something simple is like, you just do this and 3 people will go with you, and then everyone's just like, come on, why'd you flinch? And it's honestly a wonderful game. Now, like I was saying, this game is not be a game that you want to play all night. Like I think the game recommends like 1st to 15. The games I play were just like 1st to 10, and we'll play like 1 round, and that was like, whew. And honestly, I get a little exhausted. There's so much tension in this game that after like 1 round, I'm like, I'm good. We played another game, and then we're like, hey, one more game of Qork, and we went back to another game of Qork. So I think this is one of those games that's like a good in-betweener, or like an after-dinner game where you just want that, or as someone said, an after-dinner mint. It's just a nice kind of fist that like sweet 15-minute little playtime, and I think it's just good because it fits like any kind of players, right? Whether it be new players, people who don't like games, people who barely play games, people who love games. I think it just kind of checks all the boxes. Definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. Very few games ever meet that criteria. It's funny how this like probably one of the first, well, I would say the second party game that meet that criteria. If you want to see my other one that met it, just go watch my video, Top 10 Party Games. But yeah, that's Qork. Fantastic. Now, I'm not going to sell Survive the Island short. I think this game is also good, just not quite 10 out of 10 for me. It is mean. I said it in like a little to teach. It's a mean game. Depending on who you're playing with, I think that's what keeps it from ever getting to like a top. This is more like a 7 out of 10 for me. It's a game I definitely would play, but not a game that I'm like, I need to play tomorrow. Like after I play once, I'm good for a while. It's fun. Something about it, I wish it was a little bit snappier. Like this kind of game, I feel like it starts off like a high, it has a good pinnacle, and then maybe the last few turns feel a little bit sluggish because I feel like you're just trying to finish the board. So I wish there was a way maybe to speed it up. They do have like a game ending mechanism in there where you pull these volcanoes. But in the 2 games I played, I feel like we never got to that part. Like everyone was getting off the island, and then the game's almost over, and then the volcanoes start showing up. So I guess maybe if everyone's like diddly-daddling and they're not like getting off the island quick enough, maybe the volcanoes. But I guess I wish there was a way they came up a little sooner potentially, or there was an opportunity for them. But other than that, I mean, I think that might make it better because it definitely felt to like start to slow down at the end, which I hate when games do that. They start off strong, you're having a good time, and then it kind of just like dwells. Most recently, I just played Cats vs. Cucumbers, the same thing. You're kind of having a good time, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, we're still playing this game? Why is this game still going on? So leave a comment. What game here would you guys want to try out first? Would you want to try? Have you played Qork? Do you want to try Qork? I mean, it's pretty fun. I definitely recommend it. Have you guys played Survivor Island? I know both these games have been like reprinted. This is like a reprint of an older title. This is like a complete rebrand of an older game. So maybe you guys played an older version of the game. So these are both the newer versions. So new to me, but maybe not new to you guys, but they're fun. I mean, each one has their own audience. But I think for me, obviously Qork was the winner. Do you guys kind of feel the same way or maybe not? Let me know. Jump in those little comments. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Have fun. How many words can I say before I click off this video? I assume no one here is watching. If you're here watching now, I'm really curious. If you're watching right now, put down in the comments. Put what's a good keyword? Put Qork for life. Put Qork for life. That way I know you made it to the very absolute end.